Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. This is Psycho. We got pickups, not too many, but some good stuff, so that we can keep the In the Wild series going. I think this is going to be episode 17. Yeah, I believe it's 17. That's crazy. From when I first started this way back in, I think, 2016. I mean, it hasn't been ongoing because I did have to move to Kansas and stuff like that, but as soon as I was able to, I got back to it, and now we're doing these again, and I'm excited. Before we get into it, a couple things, guys. The last video I did, which was just for Nintendo Switch stuff, I went through my collection. That's been up for less than a week and has over 100 views, and that is a milestone for me. I've never had a video get that many views, and I'm super excited, and I love that happened. So if you are one of the people who watched it, thank you. If you continue to support with each video, thank you. I appreciate that too. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, constructive criticism, what you like, what you don't like, what you might want to see. And for those of you who are always here, thank you for your support, and also leave a comment and like the video. It does help out. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm at 103 views for that video, and like I said, it's the most I've ever had. So, I mean, 103 views for a YouTuber is nothing, but for me, knowing that 103 different people checked out my video is pretty cool. Also, going back to that Switch video, I showed off my collection. If you've seen it. If you didn't see it, go check that out after this, because there's some cool stuff in my Switch collection, and that's what I'm going to showcase right now. This game right here was one of the games I showed last week, and I priced my collection out yesterday. I have a foot injury right now, so I've been kind of just sitting around hurt, honestly, and so I decided to price out my collection yesterday. And I came across this game, and I'm kind of thinking about letting it go. But if you guys find this for cheap, don't hesitate to pick it up. And that is Skylanders Imaginators for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if they had like a limited run of this game or whatever. But when I came across this in complete condition, this game is going for $154 right now. I don't have the base for the toys or any of the toys. So this game is pretty much useless for me. So I might try to trade it or possibly sell it. But the game is in there. I got this at GameStop a couple of years ago for, I think, like $15. So pretty cool to find out that this game had increased in value that much. Like I said, I don't have toys or a base, so I don't know that I even have any use for this. So I might try to trade this or possibly sell it off. But yeah, guys, if you find this, which these Toys to Life games were everywhere for a while, so if you can find the Switch version of this game, I think even loose it was going for 120 or something like that. So grab it, Skylanders Imaginators. And in the video, like as I was just going through my games, it was so nonchalant, because if you saw that video, you know the story behind these types of games. And if you don't, real quick, when I first started buying games like this, was to try to lure my kids away from the Xbox so I could play the Xbox and they would be happy playing the Switch. So this is one of the games I got for my kids to play, and they never ever played it. Well, I mean, obviously because I didn't have the toys. I mean, I understand that the base and the toys are required, but for some reason I thought on the Switch that they didn't have them and that you just played the game as is. I don't know why I thought that. But yeah, guys, if you can find this. Oh, anyway, like I was saying, the kids never even played it really, so it just sat there until yesterday when I was going through all my games, and I was like, what the hell? Skylanders Imaginators, guys, for the Switch. Grab it if you can find it. Well, for cheap. So now on to my latest pickups, which is not a ton. I've had videos where there was a whole lot more than this, but there's some good stuff here that I'm super excited to have. And we're going to start off, of course, with my least favorite to my favorite. Maybe not, because a lot of this stuff is my favorite towards the end. So we'll say the least exciting to the most exciting, because I don't. There's not really favorites. We're gonna start off with some non-actual games, but game-related stuff. I got these, and I'm not obviously not gonna show you every page or whatever, but I got these stack of Game Informer magazines from Half Price Books, and they do, unless it's a current issue of a magazine or like an old Nintendo Power, which they will not hesitate to look up. I've noticed. All old back issues of magazines are $1 a piece, and I don't mind collecting video game magazines. And I've had a subscription to Game Informer for about 14 years now. I still get it, and I had gotten all these all these magazines when they first came out because I was a subscriber, but I used to throw them away. And I kind of wish I hadn't, but I mean, it is what it is. They're not super hard to find. But I do go back through these and look through old reviews, and, it's just a little something fun to do when I don't have anything currently on my reading list. I go back and look through old magazines. But yeah, this stack of Game Informer magazines for $1 a piece. So, I mean, that's a pretty good deal, I think. Up next are these things that I grabbed from Five Below. My youngest daughter constantly asks me to take her there because she knows this store is cheap and there's a lot of things in there that she likes. So last weekend I broke down and I went there. Well, not really broke down, but I decided, I had some time, so I was like, okay, let's go to Five Below. And as she likes the Poppets, which are huge now, so as we were I was helping her try to find some Poppets. I came across these, and there's 6 of them, but there's 6 figures, but they only had 5 in stock. So I bought I bought all of them, and I'm only missing one. And they were $5 a piece. I don't care. I'm not going to open them. I'm just going to probably keep them in the package anyway, just because I think they look cool. And I might just tack them by the hang tab to the wall, or hang them or display them some other way. But they're these cool little Super Mario action figures. There's kind of a glare there, but you can see there's Yoshi with an egg here. They also had the Mario. There's Mario with a coin. There is Luigi with an invincibility star. I'm trying to tilt him so that you guys don't see the glare. Here's another Mario variation of him with a 1-up mushroom. And then finally, there is Toad with a power-up mushroom. The only one that they were missing was the light blue Yoshi. This guy right here. And if I ever go back up there and see him, I'll grab that one too. But we were walking through the store and I was trying to help her find these things, and I spotted these and I was like, whoa! And then she was kind of looking at me, because then I became like a child. And I was like, oh, these Nintendo toys are so cool. And I'm telling her, hey, you can only get a couple things. And I'm walking around the store trying not to spill these everywhere. But no, she got some stuff, and she was happy with her trip. But yeah, I mean, $5 a piece, that's not a bad thing. I mean, they're cool. They're cool things to have around. Maybe if I had doubles of a few, I might open them and display them around, but I don't think I'm going to open those. And then I got this. Okay, now we're going to go into the games. I got this game at Five Below also, because sometimes they do have video games for $5. I mean, nothing crazy. You're not going to find crazy anything at Five Below. But Walmart was selling this game for $10, and not anything that I even think I'll play. It's still sealed, but I bought it just to add to the collection because it's a game I didn't have, and it's $5. But it is a copy of Rocket Arena Mythic Edition for the Xbox One. They had 2 other games there, but I already had both of the other ones in the collection, so I didn't buy those. This was the only one I didn't have. Like I said, I'll probably not open this. It'll just be in the collection. But yeah, Rocket Arena Mythic Edition for Xbox One. Okay, what's next? Yeah, guys, we only have a few more things, but cool stuff nonetheless. Then this is part of a deal that I did with Carlos. The rest of the stuff is pretty much deals with Carlos, except for one thing that I got from Amazon, and I will let you know when that happens in the video. But it's a Wii U box. It is the Wii U New Super Mario Brothers U. Now it's just the box, but I I don't have a Wii U, but if I get one, I'll throw it in there. And if it's a Mario, I haven't really looked at the box, so I'm not sure if it's a download or not. If it's a physical game, I'll probably try to complete this box. But what you hear in there rattling around is the other pieces of cardboard that held the system and stuff. But cool nonetheless, and it's not in terrible shape. So that's my goal, is to have a box Nintendo console from every console that they've had. I'm thinking about maybe handhelds too, but that might get crazy. So for now, I'm just focusing on consoles. And yes, I know the Virtual Boy is going to be very hard to find complete in box. But now that I have this Wii U box, with the exception of the Virtual Boy, I think the only two consoles I'm missing at least a box for are the N64 and the Wii. I have every other console box. So that was a part of the deal. Empty box for the Wii U. I'm not hating it. I like it. And now I'm going to show you the thing that I got from Amazon. I ordered this from Amazon. I think it was on sale. I do have some other stuff coming from Amazon too, but that's going to be for the next video. I ordered this on sale. Didn't even know this was physical. The other one, the sequel, Part 2, was a Switch exclusive, but the first one was Xbox 360 and PS3. And it is a copy of Deadly Premonition Origins. Now, I didn't know that the first game was re-released physical on the Switch until recently. And like I said in the video last week, either you get it or you don't. To me, this game is an absolute classic. This is the equivalent of a very cheesy B horror movie, which I love those movies. And so I love this game. But it is a re-release of the original Deadly Premonition. And if you like survival horror and like campy old 80s horror flicks, at least give this a chance. Francis York Morgan is the protagonist, and this, I don't know, I think this game is amazing. I have not played this version yet. Like I said, I got this yesterday in the mail. But, yeah. Deadly Premonition Origins for the Switch. Excited to have it. And then the other stuff that I got from Carlos. Okay, 2 games for a console. 2 games for a console that I do not own. How about that? And crazy story. Back in the day, the local video store that I used to rent from also had a TV with some couches set up in there, where you can pay $5 and pick a game for any system. For some reason, this video store wasn't like your regular Blockbuster that just had Sega and Nintendo. This guy had everything. He had the Jaguar, the TurboGrafx, every available console for rent. And like I said, you could pay him $5 and it would give you 1 hour of time, and you could pick any game for any console and play it for that hour. But the cool thing is if you weren't feeling that game, you could switch out the games at any time. But for that hour, every single game in the store was at your fingertips. You could play whatever you wanted. And when I was giving this system a try, there were 2 games that I went back to, and I really liked them. And it just so happened that Carlos found these 2 games, and I spotted them in one of his Facebook posts. And I was like, what are the odds that this guy found for this system, like the 2 games, and at the same time, that I remember most fondly playing for the Sega CD. And they are Sega CD games, and they are great, and they are in crazy good condition. But the first one is The Adventures of Batman and Robin. And like I'm saying, like, it's hard to see because it's glary, but the disc is in great shape. I can show you the disc. The disc is in great shape. I mean, it's kind of glary. There's not really any scratches, no nothing. It's pristine. And then another impressive thing for this, for me anyway, is that typically there's a scuff or a tiny crack or something in these cases, are those hard plastic ones. And this just doesn't have it. The hinges tend to break on these old Sega CD cases. They're both intact. There's not a scuff or a crack or a dent or a mark on either one of these cases. And it is impressive. But, yeah, I have fond memories of this game, and I am glad to pick it up from him. The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega CD. And I just picked this up last night. When he handed these to me, I was like, I cannot believe I am holding this game or these games on the Sega CD. And the next one was my absolute favorite one. And I remember playing the original game on the Sega Genesis, and I loved it. And it's one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. Here's a copy of The Amazing Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. Man, I love this game. I love the Spider-Man on Sega Genesis. I've played other ones for the NES and stuff like that. And, you know, there's Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety and stuff like that. But I liked the Spider-Man game that was on the Genesis, where there was no, like, you fought supervillains, but you just played as Spider-Man, and it was a straightforward, like, side-scrolling. I like that game. Not that I hate the other ones. I like those too, but that Spider-Man game is just the one that I have probably the most nostalgia for. And then this one. But I am super stoked. Same thing with this one. Not a... why is that upside down? Oh, because that's how it's printed on there. Not a scuff, not a crack, not a broken hinge, not an anything on these two Sega CD games. And I am loving it. My problem is that because these jewel cases are so big, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to display these. Look, nothing on the disc. Disc is in tremendous shape. But yeah, I want to be able to display them instead of, like, a lot of people, and I do too. A lot of people, you can see the spines, but I love the artwork on these, so I want to figure out how to place these to where when I'm checking out my collection, I can see the fronts of these. Look at that artwork on the Spider-Man. You can see Venom there, Doc Ock in the background, and even the Batman and Robin, you can see Poison Ivy and the Joker and the Riddler. Dope. I'm super stoked to have these in the collection, and if I ever get a Sega CD, I will gladly throw these in. I actually am considering putting on a video on YouTube of somebody doing a playthrough of this, just so I can at least see it again. But yeah, that artwork just looks like the cover of a comic, guys. I love it. I can sit here and I can talk about these all night, honestly. But we've got other things to get to. Alright, we got 2 more games and then another console. The first, this is another deal where I got from Carlos, and a story behind this deal was I saw this deal on Marketplace, and I was talking to the lady. We had several dialogues, and then started talking about a meetup, and then all of a sudden she was just gone. And then a couple days later, I found out that Carlos had grabbed the lot. The lady had sold it out from under me. Now, that's not his fault. He had no idea that I was trying to get this stuff. I mean, how could you? Like, the lady doesn't, you don't know who else you're competing with. But when I told him that story, I was kind of angry at the time, but I wasn't angry at him. I was angry because essentially the lady lied. Like, if she set up a meet and we agreed on a price, and then she sold it. Well, I tried to explain to him over and over and over. I wasn't angry with him. I was angry at the lady for pretty much lying to me. And I ended up getting a great deal from him for the items anyway. He sold them to me anyway. And I'm pretty sure that's why he even picked them up, because he knows I collect boxed stuff. So I'm pretty sure when he saw that, he had me in mind. And I was ending up with this either way. But I'm going to go through the games first and then the console. But the lot included a complete in-box copy of Tetris 2 for the NES, and it's all in there. It's got the yes, of course, I always go through these, don't I? It's got the I don't think it has any, I don't remember, because it's hard to remember what inserts come with what posters and subscription cards, and like, oh, check out this Nintendo Power magazine, those kind of cards. So to me, complete is box, manual, and cart. I know that's not truly complete, and I'm not sure how much value it actually brings down if you don't have your registration card with it. But I'm happy with box, manual, and cart. So, but this has the consumer information, the precaution booklet. It has the manual, which is in pretty nice shape, and then here you see the cart, still in the bag, and the cart is in pretty good shape too. But yeah, Tetris 2 for the NES. I didn't already have it in the collection, And I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, really? You're taking apart Tetris 2? It's like, yeah, I am. And not even so much maybe for the video. I mean, it's cool to show this stuff off to you guys, but mostly for me too. Like, I like looking at the stuff also. You know what I mean? Like tearing it apart and checking out the manual, making sure everything's in there. Just so much nostalgia flooding back every time I crack open a box Nintendo title. And that is not even an exaggeration, guys. Like, I love it. I really, really do. Putting the stuff back in here real quick. Alright. So yeah, guys, a complete inbox copy of Tetris 2. And now this was the one, I mean, aside from the console, this was the other game that was pictured in there, and I was like, it said it was on for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, so I jumped all over it. And then, yeah, it made me real mad that she lied to me and just kind of sold it out from under me. But like I said, again, had nothing to do with Carlos. I love the guy. He's a good friend of mine. And I can't imagine anyone not grabbing this, you know what I mean? So I ended up with it anyway. But the other game, and this was why I was excited for this, a complete inbox copy of Final Fantasy. I had this in my collection the first time, and I thought, like, man, by the time I find that game again, it's going to be through the roof. And honestly, I priced this yesterday, and this is $140. So not quite through the roof, but still north of $100 for a complete inbox copy of Final Fantasy. And yeah, we're going to go through this again. Oh man, look at that. I didn't just rip this off, it fell out of the bottom of the box, but one of the tabs is ripped. So if I ever decided to get rid of it, it would not be $140. But yeah, bummer. I'm kind of contemplating whether or not I should just throw it back in the box. I'm not going to, though. You know what? I'm going to. Forget it. It lays flat, so it's not going to damage anything else. But yeah, guys, this does not have a dust sleeve, but I mean, they're everywhere. But there's the cart. It's got the manual, which, you know, has a tiny little bend up on the corner here, but overall, it's in pretty good shape. This is like an SNES manual, too, by the way. And then the maps, guys. Those are also included in here. Now, I don't see a registration card or whatever else, like the ads for NP or whatever. But here's the one map, and here's another one. Or I think this looks like a monster glossary. Well, there's a map on this side, but on the back it looks like it's a monster glossary with all the weaknesses and stuff like that. As I said, I had this in the collection the first time around, and it was in pretty nice condition also. And aside from me just discovering that tab was broke, and in the bottom of the box, because I hadn't taken it out yet. I mean, when I got it, I opened it up and looked in there, and I, you know, kind of thumbed through to make sure that the manual and the maps and stuff were in there. But this is actually the first time that I've actually opened it, so I didn't know that tab was broke. I wasn't paying close enough attention. But either way, like, I'm not really trying to, and you can see there's some creasing right along here too. Either way, like, this too. I'm not trying to get rid of this. I'm super happy to have this in the collection. A complete inbox copy of the original Final Fantasy on the NES. I'll take this in this condition any day of the week, honestly. Even in the condition that it's in, I could probably still pull north of 100 if I wanted to. So, Final Fantasy, guys. Stoked. And then the final thing in that lot that I got was another box console. It is a SNES Junior control deck. I have never owned a Super Nintendo Junior. Man, they made the Nintendos pretty durable back then, so I didn't have a need for a SNES Junior. My Super Nintendo lasted pretty much until I got rid of it. But we'll take it out just to give it a look. You got, I'm not sure where this came from. Where's a broken piece of foam? Like I said, I'm not really seeing where it came from here, but that's okay. Like, overall, that little broken piece of foam is not that detrimental. But here's the instruction booklet and the precautionary guide. You got the controller. There's the controller. Everything's still in the package. Your cables over here. Which, yeah. Here's the cables. And then the actual SNES Junior itself is still in the original baggie. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the very first time I have ever held a SNES Junior in my hand. I have never actually played. Oh wow, and that's pretty nice looking too. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but that looks pretty clean. As I said, I had my Super Nintendo pretty much until I got rid of it, so I've never played a Super Nintendo game on this console. But yeah, really clean, not yellowed. That's pretty cool too. I mean, maybe like a small hint. It looks like a small hint of it, but I've seen these Super Nintendo consoles in way worse condition than this. So overall, I'm happy with it, honestly. And that's all I have for this one, guys. But as I said, cool stuff though, so I'm not exactly hating it either, you know what I mean? If you like the stuff that you see, guys, here, think about subscribing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment to let me know I should work on my speech. We got some more stuff coming up. Again, some more music videos coming up, which I keep saying and I just haven't gotten around to doing. But they are coming, guys, I promise. I am going to get to one. I might do the music video review, or not the music video, the album review tomorrow. Today's shirt, Summerland Festival, which I saw a few weeks ago. All four of these bands, I think I was wearing this in another video, so I've already shown this one off. So I'm going to have to come up with some other, dig out some other shirts to wear for these videos. And back to Dusty Grant, cool local guy here. But yeah, more music stuff coming up, and always on the hunt for game pickups. I have more stuff coming from Carlos. I have a game coming, a Switch game coming in the mail Monday, I believe. And I'll probably go check out Amazon and see if maybe I can dig up a deal or two. And more stuff coming from Limited Run, which I'm excited to do unboxing of that. And if Premium Edition Series 2 ever has extras to sell, I will do unboxing of those when I order them too. But thanks again for the support, guys. Hit the bell notification so you know when I am posting new stuff. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Have a good night, evening, day, morning, whatever time it is when you're watching this, guys. Psycho out.